Welcome to Kryton Vault Training DB1. I'm Solomon Wilcots. What you will find in this video vault will be information that helps you to understand the mindset of playing the defensive back position. You must be tough and tenacious. Remember, you're going to be going up against bigger offensive linemen, faster wide receivers, and more powerful running backs. So most importantly, you have to have a mindset where you're going to be the toughest guy on the football field. And it is with that mindset that you are going to be able to win. We have to be able to understand at moments you're going to fail. You will get beat, but you can't accept failure. It's how you respond to that failure and how you're able to bounce back after giving up a big play. That you come back, you make the interception, and so your ability to bounce back and having a tough mindset is paramount when it comes to playing defensive back. Now, in order to play defensive back at an elite level, you have to start with having the proper stance. And that means you want to get down low. You don't want to stand up high. All too often you see defensive back playing with their legs straight. They don't have a good knee bend, and they're not in a good coiled position where they can uncoil and be explosive. So we want to get very low in our stance. If we're the left corner and the ball's to the inside, we always want our outside foot up and our inside foot back. If the ball's to the inside here, then we would have our outside foot would be our right foot up and our left foot back. For this drill, we're going to say the ball's to the inside, we're at left corner, outside foot up, and then the back foot, your toe should be right at your heel. You want to drop your butt and have a really good angle, allowing your chest and back to be right over the balls of your feet. You drop your butt, all the tension is on those inner thighs. We're in a good coiled position so we can then uncoil and be explosive. So after we get in a really good proper stance, the art of backpedaling really does insist that you put the weight on that front foot, chest and shoulder over the balls of your feet, and then you push off over the front foot. So as you push off, that's going to be the first step so that we don't have a wasted step and the receiver's not able to close our cushion. So we want to be in a real coiled position, then uncoil with that first step, going back. And nice and smooth. The back pedal. Another key element to backpedaling is the ability to weave in your back pedal. This is going to allow you to remain leveraged on the wide receiver and then still be able to turn your hips. Keep your shoulders square to the wide receiver, to the guy you're covering, while weaving in your back pedal both to the left and to the right. Remember, while in your back pedal, you want to stay in a very low position with knees bent, butt down, and then a flat back. You want to keep your chest over the balls of your feet. This is going to allow you to be able to change directions very quickly and remain explosive. Remember to stay in a very coiled position so that you can uncoil with great quickness and explosive ability. The ability to plant and break is one of the most critical and essential tools to play the defensive back position at an elite level. After you have your back pedal, now the key is to have that plant foot, jam it into the ground. That's going to stop your momentum out of the back pedal, and then you plant with the front foot, okay, to go ahead and break. So you're going to have that T-step where both feet are together. The back foot is your plant foot, the front foot is your break foot in order to explode. You transfer weight from the back foot to the front foot and you're on the balls of your feet. That's going to allow you to change directions and explode off the front foot. Your ability to plant and break is built on the T-step drill. It breaks the momentum from the back pedal, allowing you to transfer weight to the front foot and explode. So you want to do repetitively the T-step, breaking to your right, then back pedal, breaking to your left. Back pedal again, break to your left, back pedal, break to your left. The repeated T-step motions will allow you to be able to instinctively backpedal, plant and break, change directions, and explode and break on the ball. The ability to turn and burst out of the back pedal will allow you to create a lot of interceptions and prevent giving up the deep ball in the passing game. If you want to play defensive back at an elite level, it really is about turning out of the back pedal, exploding down the field, and allow you to maintain that top upfield position on the wide receiver where you can intercept passes and create him from catching the long ball in the passing game. As you're attempting to turn and burst out of the back pedal, smooth, fluid hip movements are really important. And so what you want to do as you're in your back pedal, you take that back elbow, and that's going to get you in a position to turn completely to get the hips around so that you can run full speed in the opposite direction. Again, back pedal, turn and throw the elbow around. That will allow the hips to open up and you create a vertical run in the opposite direction. The ability to turn and burst will prevent the wide receiver from eating up your cushion and getting behind you to score a touchdown. Your ability to turn and run will allow you to stay on top of the receiver and come away with big-time interceptions. For defensive backs in zone coverage, you're going to often be asked to maintain outside leverage on the wide receiver. What that means is we want to keep the wide receiver on the inside where we still have vision on him as well as the quarterback, and we maintain sight on the football. Now, he's going to try to get outside on me, but that's where I want to use my ability to weave in the back pedal to maintain outside leverage. Now, as he comes up the field, I want to weave to keep him on the inside of me. This allows me to have vision on the wide receiver as well as the quarterback. When the ball is thrown, I break on the ball to make a play. Remember, in zone coverage, you want to maintain outside leverage on the wide receiver. If you lose that outside leverage, as he starts to come outside and I lose leverage and I'm watching the quarterback, now I lose position and perspective on where the wide receiver is. I don't know if he's breaking the route out on a comeback route, and I'm not so sure if he's going deep. I have vision on the ball and the quarterback, but once you lose leverage on the wide receiver, you lose positioning and you're unable to make a play. In zone coverage, I want to maintain that outside leverage on the wide receiver. As he starts to break out, I weave in my back pedal. I maintain vision on the quarterback, the ball, and the wide receiver. With an excellent break, I get the interception and break up the pass play. In man-to-man bump and run coverage, we want to always maintain what we call inside leverage on the wide receiver. I want to prevent an inside move for the wide receiver up the field, maintaining position between the wide receiver and the quarterback. When I prevent it, I jam him up the field, turn and run. Now I can fill him with this hand, still maintaining vision on the quarterback and the incoming ball. Now, when you're playing a rolled up corner position in a zone press technique or man press technique, your hand positioning is very important. You want to maintain good hand leverage inside to be able to get your hands underneath the chest in the inside area where you can maintain position, a firm physical position on the wide receiver. Now, if you just hold there, stand there, I want to be here and I want to be able to fire the hands out. So let's get our hands in a good, ready position, not down on our sides, but right here at all times in our stance, to be able to fire here, fire here, fire here. Good low position, good leverage, fire here into the chest. Okay? I still jammed her. Now, usually for a rolled up cover two corner, what we want to do is not necessarily jam or prevent his progress up the field, but what we want to do is force an inside release. Remember, we have safety help over the top. What we want to force him is to run an inside route. What I don't want is for him to release outside and run up the boundary that would place my safety on an island. So now when I get up in my position, I want to jam him and force him to release inside and then drop off in coverage. Again, in our man position, we want to impede his progress up the field, so our ability to jam him in the chest and keep him on the line of scrimmage for as long as possible, that is our goal in order to play at an elite level. So we want to jam him here and move our feet. Move our feet, jam, jam, move our feet. Stay on top of the receiver. As long as we can prevent his progress up the field, we are doing an excellent job. After stretching, there are certain exercises that you want to be able to do to build up the important muscles in order to play defensive back at an elite level. You want to be able to strengthen the hips, the thighs, hamstring, the quad muscles, and the growing area so that you become an explosive, well-conditioned athlete built for endurance. First, we do a down-the-line drill that incorporates high knee action. By getting the knees up high, going 40 yards down the field, what this is going to do is going to allow you to be a powerful, explosive athlete in the upper thighs area so that you have great endurance to become an elite athlete. The next drill in our down the line sequence is a karaoke drill. This is a traditional football drill built to really enhance your strength in terms of lateral movement and footwork. And what you want to do is it's almost like a coordinated move where it's a skip, crossing over the legs, then skip back, cross over the other leg, and it increases your lateral movement. You go 40 yards down the line in a very low stance. This is going to increase your strength, your overall lateral movement and quickness, and then, boy, will you become an explosive elite athlete. The third element in our down the line sequence is a side shuffle. You go down the line for 40 yards. Remember, a very low stance, side shuffling. What this does, it also helps to increase the strength in your lower body so that when you become a defensive back and you're backpedaling, you remain in a very low stance where it enhances your quickness, your explosive ability to break on the ball and create interceptions. This lateral movement drill will increase your overall athleticism and help you again to become an explosive athlete. The fourth element in our down the line sequence is backpedaling. Every good defensive back has to be able to run backwards while a receiver is running full speed at them. Your ability to remain in a very low stance while running backwards is paramount. And so this drill will help to build the strength needed in your upper legs to be able to remain in a low stance and run backwards. Remember, down the line means backpedaling down the line for 40 yards and returning back. It's really an 80-yard run going backwards that will help you to increase the muscles in your leg to become an elite athlete. The final element in our down the line sequence is the most important of all. It's a backpedal and turn where you stay on the line and you have to backpedal, you turn the hips fully open going in the opposite direction. This is going to allow you that when you're in coverage as a defensive back, when the receiver is closing that cushion, your ability to turn your hips and open to a full sprint is going to be vitally important in becoming an elite athlete. Now, for the intangibles that you'll find in this video vault, you must maintain good balance, good footwork, and always be explosive when it comes to driving and making plays on the football. Bad weather is no excuse for having poor footwork. Excellent balance, good technique would allow you to play on a muddy field, a rainy, wet grass field, or sports turf. This is the information you will find in the Kryton Vault Training DB1, where you can excel and become an elite athlete.